This is how I got my highest round in zombies ever on complete accident. It all started when I decided to make the choice to play Black Ops 4. Now I do need to give you guys some context. I have a very love and hate relationship with Black Ops 4. This is my least favorite game within the series. This game makes me sad. Disappointment is an understatement. It felt like a peak run in my childhood of enjoying a lot of fan favorite games of mine basically came to an end with this game. I have a rough relationship with Black Ops 4, to say the least. But after reading your guys' comments for some of the people that really liked Black Ops 4 and recommended I tried it again, I thought to myself, why not? So I went back to Black Ops 4 after 5 long years, and somehow, some way, getting to my highest round in zombies ever on complete accident. And the funny thing is too, is I got this on a map I've only ever played twice. So with that being said, let me show you guys how I got to this point.
Let's recap a bit, shall we?
So the map that I got this incredible milestone on was Dead of the Night. So this map is not popular within Black Ops 4, and in general, not even popular within the entire series. Some people don't like how this map has vampires and werewolves in addition to the zombies. Some people don't like the setup of this map, saying it's too hard and tedious and not casual friendly. And some people, and even including myself for a prior point in my life, didn't like this map just because it was in Black Ops 4. But I will say this, is that for somebody that has only ever played this map twice, and does not like a lot of those things as well, I still had fun. I like the theme of this map even though it has vampires and werewolves because it reminds me of a cheesy 1920s movie. And yes, the setup can be quite tedious at times, but despite this, I still enjoyed myself and had fun playing Dead of the Night. So with all that being said, let's start now from the beginning and show what happened. So spawning in on round 1, I was going into this map blind. I completely forgot anything I learned from the very first time playing this 5 years ago. But don't worry, you won't be seeing me struggle too much because I did have some YouTube videos to help me out. So the first thing I did was open up the map. I basically got the artifact, which is essentially the power of Black Ops 4, and I was opening up some of the remaining doors. And then I tried to hit the mystery box and see if I could test my luck and pull at least a semi-decent weapon, or even the wonder weapon. Then after that, I decided to start working towards the Pack-a-Punch and getting my perks. Now the Pack-a-Punch is weird. You have to find crystals in the map and then look into them and figure out what item that you need to go to. In my case, I had to go to a clock, for example, and I had to stand in the circle and kill zombies up until the clock would drop me a part. There was another crystal that when I looked into it had me want to go to one of the perk statues and then have to fight off against vampires in an enclosed space, which was pretty unique. And then the very last crystal, which was located in the cellar area, when I clicked into this one, it wanted me to find a scroll somewhere in the map, and this one I couldn't find naturally. I had to look this one up. So apparently after looking for what felt hours, the scroll is barely visible in that box on the shelf, and then the scroll will spawn in a ghost lady that you have to follow until you can end up getting the last part. It was a little weird and definitely tedious, but it was basically just a glorified scavenger hunt. So once I got all the Pack-a-Punch parts, I then just got my remaining perks and guns and decided to head to the pack. And little did I know that the werewolf will spawn in as soon as you open up the Pack-a-Punch room. This totally didn't give me anxiety or anything, but luckily, at least I had a somewhat decent setup and was able to actually kill this werewolf by just spraying him down with an LMG. So once I got the Pack-a-Punch open, I decided to pack at least one of my guns and then go straight from there. So then what I decided to do was look around the map for some colored symbols. There are 4 symbols in total in the map, with all the colors being blue, green, yellow, and red. And once I got all 4 of these symbols, I was then able to end up getting the wonder weapon on the map by doing a little Easter egg quest. Now the wonder weapon in this map in its base form is pretty damn good. It's able to at least kill the werewolf, which will definitely end up getting one distraction off my back, and allows me to survive much easier. At this point in the game, I had all 4 of my perks. I had a Pack-a-Punch gun with at least 1 elemental upgrade on it. I had the base wonder weapon, a riot shield, my specialist, my grenades, my elixirs, and basically had the map opened up. But I did decide to at least do 2 more things. One is I made a craftable, which was called Silver Bullets. This is specifically something designed in particular for the werewolf, and this allows you to not only be able to kill the werewolf much easier, but this also allows you to be able to get a drop from him so you can upgrade the wonder weapon. Now, unfortunately, I was already at round 16 by this point, and I already did kill my werewolf that I initially get from the Pack-a-Punch, so I had to wait for another one to spawn in a few rounds later so I could be able to use the silver bullets on it, and therefore get the process started to upgrade the wonder weapon. So while I was waiting for a werewolf to spawn in, all I did was just rotate around the map in circles and just pick up my riot shield and then eventually go back down and then just train right where that staircase is. Now by the time that I was around round 18 or so, this is when I finally got another werewolf to spawn in, and I was able to kill him with silver bullets so that way I could be able to get a drop from him. Although I just will say this, is that this werewolf tends to very much jump scare you at random times. He will emerge around a corner and get right up in your face, and sometimes you do not know where he is because his footsteps are way too damn quiet. Hence the reason earlier why I said I had anxiety about the werewolf. But eventually I was able to get the part that I needed from him, and then I was finally able to get the upgraded wonder weapon called the Chaos Fury. Now the Chaos Fury is not the full form of the wonder weapon, but this version is very solid and very easily could have been just the one that I decided to stick with, but I thought, hey, why not go all out at this point? It was with this single decision alone that I had some of my most frustrating and epic moments during this playthrough. The reason why I say this is because the Alistair's Annihilator, the full form of the wonder weapon on this map, the last upgrade, its upgrade process, its Easter egg, is annoying as hell. There's only 3 steps, but the 3 steps are tedious, and this is the part that I think a lot of people think of when they say they don't like Dead of the Night. So let's talk about one step in particular that I despise with every fiber of my being. There is a step where in the graveyard there is these lanterns that you have to shoot. And one lantern in particular is going to be a slightly different shade than the other lanterns. It's going to be an orange color instead of a yellow color, and then you have to shoot 4 of these in a row as it moves from lantern to lantern. It sounds easy in hindsight, but in practice is agonizing because the orange is not very easily distinguishable from the yellow, and you will feel colorblind trying to do this step. I'm not even joking when I say this. I had to pause so many times and look back at the video I was watching because I legitimately felt colorblind. I was like, there is no way in hell that someone can tell this shade of yellow or orange from another shade of yellow or orange. They look basically identical. Like, I am not even kidding. It is such a subtle difference. The only way I was able to tell which one was the correct one is when I realized that it also had a minor flickering texture, where it looks like it's going in and out, rather than just being completely solid the entire time. It also doesn't help that the zombies are always tickling me and trying to kill me at a moment's notice. Because of how annoying that this one step was, I had to take a break and move on to another step. So I decided to do this one near the Pack-a-Punch. There's going to be these spores that are growing out of the ground in this little area of the Pack-a-Punch in the forest. This step was also frustrating, but less frustrating than the lantern one. You basically have to get a zombie to directly stand on that pile, and then you have to end up shooting them with your wonder weapon on a special ability that it has, and then you have to get the zombie to dig up the part from the ground for you. Now I would also like to mention that while I was doing this step, I was also multitasking another one. Now, while you are trying to kill the zombies here in the Pack-a-Punch, vampires will also spawn in. And if you kill the vampires with your wonder weapon, they will drop bile. They will drop 4 pieces of bile, and you can collect these and eventually end up going to the graveyard. In the graveyard, there's now going to be this coffin that has a red light coming out of it, and if you interact with it, with the bile that you have in your inventory, you can smear it on the casket and resurrect a vampire, a special kind of vampire that is neon red and basically looks like he's covered in blood. This special vampire will chase you down, and you must kill him to get one of the next parts for the Alistair's Annihilator. The main boss vampire in particular is really strong and really quick, and he also spawns in a whole bunch of henchmen to also attack you at the same time. But once you kill the army of midget vampires who look like Reddit mods that have not slept in 5 years, you can then end up collecting the next part. So all that is left is now this cursed lantern step, which, by the way, for those of you guys, in case I haven't said it already, this is the bane of my existence. This step was so damn annoying that I legitimately wanted to quit. In fact, this was actually going to be my very last attempt before I just decided to either not upgrade the wonder weapon, or if I just decided to get offline, because at this point in the night, it was already 5 a.m. in the morning, but I decided to persevere. And finally, after getting the right sequence of lanterns where I could easily see them going from one to another, I was then able to end up shooting it and end up getting this to happen. Once I shot all 4 of the lanterns, a bat spawned in. I need to use my wonder weapon to shoot this bat out of the sky, and then I would finally have the last part I needed. But here's the catch. I have to do it within a certain time frame, otherwise the bat will go away and I have to do the lantern step again. This wonder weapon's great, but trying to shoot this bat was also really difficult. But eventually, I got the final part that I needed. I then crafted myself my prize, the Alistair's Annihilator, my baby for the next several rounds. This wonder weapon, this version of the wonder weapon specifically, was the main reason why I survived as long as I did. It has so many special attacks that can stun and one-shot enemies, basically making it where they cannot fight back. So literally all I did for the next several rounds, for the next several hours of my time, was run around in this location while occasionally fixing my shield, while trying to get max ammos, and maybe running around to hit the mystery box and get a new LMG. I was basically doing this strat for pretty much the rest of the night. Now, I definitely had some close calls, like, for example, werewolves jump scaring me again, and basically end up scaring me to death. Werewolf jump scares just hit different at 5 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, I basically had to occasionally improvise and end up getting a different mystery box gun for when my Alistair's Annihilator ran out of ammo, and I was desperate at one point and just started running the Helion Salvo, even though I wasn't using PhD Slider. But all I really did was just keep going. I just kept changing weapons, kept mixing up my playstyle. I also just kept running around and grabbing silver bullets, which I also did not realize until after I died, that apparently I could have been doing that forever. I could have just been picking up silver bullets and basically refill my existing gun with ammo. I did not know that. I was just hitting the box repeatedly, which probably means I could have gotten around 100 if I wanted to, but like I said, this is the second time I've ever played the map. I wasn't really planning on this happening in the first place. I really didn't start to meet my demise until I got stuck at one point with my riot shield trying to repair it, and I also did not have Dying Wish active because I already used it. And then I ended up going down and losing my perks, and then pretty much you can end up figuring out what happened. I really couldn't get set up again. I was trying to get my perks, I was throwing things like homunculuses and trying to get the mystery box, but I even had moments where I was getting literally killed by just enemies clipping through me and pushing me into a corner, and that was actually my demise. I literally got killed by a vampire that was just putting me in a corner and I couldn't do anything about it. I just basically died from getting stuck. So yeah, that was in a nutshell how I got my highest round ever in COD Zombies, just on a freak accident. I got to round 70 on Dead of the Night in Black Ops 4. So yeah, this is my huge milestone of the week. I basically ended up getting a high round on a game that I thought I would basically never play again. So, I hope you guys ended up enjoying today's video, and I hope you guys had a good time. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. It means a lot more than you guys truly realize. It will help me get into the algorithm and allow me to be able to expose more of my videos to people like you, for example. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, I truly hope you guys end up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers they're ever going to see. Thank you for watching, guys. I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey meme lords, Jesus here, and you better have enjoyed that video there by the eternal god Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too, and give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!